in the relationship come to the agreement that, listen, we're in this together. I realize that when you communicate, okay, let me put it this way. I realize that when I communicate to you, you don't act upon it the way I expect you to. So how should I communicate to you that will get through to you? Is that something we can explore?
Yes, it is right.
Okay. Then from the other side, can the person say, well, you said this and that to me. I'm sure you expected me to behave in this way. I am not, because I'm not in agreement with what you're communicating.
Yeah.
But when I speak, maybe you will not listen. So I kept quiet and refused to listen to what you communicated. Can that person, the recipient, also say that?
I will not support that. Because the moment you say that, I will let you speak, but I will not listen.
Or act upon it.
Or act upon it. It is, in Jesus, it is not good.
But people do that.
People do that. It is not good. People do a lot of things, but it's not good. People drink all kinds of blood tonics. It's not good, because they want to make their blood better. Eventually, they may get some kidney problem. That's the same thing. So I think that I use this to achieve a purpose, but it is not good. I think that you should be able to let the person say the way you can understand. Instead of saying that, let me say this because it flashes and others I forget. One thing that helps with communication in a relationship is when we have established genuine affection. I don't know whether I get it. Between me and you, there's no doubt about my love for you, my affection for you. You know, affection and love, they are two different things. Affection is like I deeply care. So if between me and Mimi, she knows I deeply care, I know she deeply cares. No matter how she says anything, because I know she deeply cares, I will not
take it negatively.
I will only ask her to explain for me to get it better. But a lot of times, the reason why you take it negative, the reason why when you came home, you greeted and she responded and you think there's a problem, is that because there's a problem. Because there's a problem.
And that's when you see
it, because there's a problem. So if you are really in love, like when you were courting, when you were chasing her, that you were really in love, that you overlook all kinds of things. While you late grandpa, you are not bothered. If it is like that, no matter how he communicates, it will never click. That on Pemasemintra, you are likely to say, maybe she's tired. Maybe he's disturbed about something at work. Because knowing David, he will never say this thing to hurt me. So for him to speak like that, there's a problem. So my communication skills will now cause me to come in to try and find what is happening. And if you're able to tell me what is happening genuinely, then it helps me to understand. And sometimes the other thing too, when it comes to the non-verbal communication, you do something and say, what did you mean? Then you interpret it. Next time you do the same thing as, what do you mean? Your interpretation now is different from the last time. So you're confusing me. The last time that you put your hand like the way he's seated, you see the way he's seated like that. And I asked you, what is it?
Hands akimbo.
Yeah.
That's what you mean.
When I asked you, you said, oh, I am tired. I'm just resting my head. The next time you are sitting the same way, you do that. I will assume you are resting your head. Now it is not like that. Now because if the first time you had told me that, the moment you do this and I can interpret right, that's what have I done? I mean, you get it. But a lot of times we interpret, we give definitions wrongly. So it makes it difficult for our partners to understand whom they are really dealing with.
We've gotten it wrong all this while. We want to correct the wrongs. How do we go about it?
The two of you should sit down and agree that we want to make our relationship better. In the developed countries, it's like when the blood is bad, they can get rid of all the blood and put some new blood there. A nephew of mine came from UK, and their children had some issues with their blood. They were able to get rid and put in the whole thing. So sometimes that's what we need. Both of us need to admit that we didn't get it right. We don't know how to do it. In well-developed places, they get books and tips and listen to it and develop it. in my office, what I normally do is that write out everything that he or she does that you don't like, the way he does it that you don't like, and don't defend yourself. Take the sheet and go to your room and just look at them, point 1, point 2, point 3, and all the things that he or she has complained about. Ask yourself, how can I do it better? Then when you respond, this one, this is how we do it, this one, this is how we do it, this one, this is how we do it, you come back again. Then I take the sheet. Number one, you said that whenever I am communicating, I'm speaking at the top of my voice. I have thought through it. Henceforth, this is what I'm going to do. Anytime I'm speaking and realize that I'm raising my voice, just tap me. And you can use my pet name and say, darling, darling, darling. So you tell me, because you know me, you tell me that for you, I know when I tap you, it's going to be worse. So it means that the solution I am thinking of you knowing me will not work. So I have to go back again. Or you will have to suggest to me that I think the way you are, if you do it this way, it is better. It's a skill. It's an art. But you need to accept that you have a problem.
It's a skill, it's an art, it's a lot of work.
A lot of work. A lot of work. You see, it is like you've spoken or you walked in a certain way for a very long time. Then all of a sudden somebody comes and says that walk straight. It will be difficult. It's the same thing. I've spoken like that. And in the environment in which I was speaking like that, like if you take myself, for example, where I was born and raised up, we crack jokes with almost everything. And now I marry you, and you are from some royal place that every word has to be selected right. And for me, just to do that overnight to be difficult. So you have to accept that it will take time and help me to change, whilst I also work on myself. Yeah.
All right. So at this point in time, let me activate the